Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courtney, as Sam just introduced, and our application is AB Sign. Communication is essential to our survival as humans. It allows us to share knowledge, express emotion, and build relationships. In our modern society, much of communication relies on spoken language. But what if a child is born without the ability to hear? Or what if a child has delayed speech? When my son recently turned 2 and still wasn't forming any words, we realized we needed an alternate way to communicate. That's when someone introduced us to American Sign Language, or ASL. AB Sign is designed to aid parents and their children in learning basic ASL. Our team employed Agile Scrum methodology and a database-first MVC approach to develop our application. After a user registers and signs in, they can view a library of signs, practice with flashcards, test their knowledge with quizzes, and track their progress. Richard will now introduce you to our homepage.
Hi, my name is Richard, and actually, to correct that, I was promoted to B-52 aircraft commander, and that was in the past. Then I taught math. In the present now, when we initially began our project, we kind of decided that the home page, the landing page, would look different than the rest of the other pages, and particularly the nav bar. So instead of a horizontal nav bar on the landing page, we decided to research something else, something non-traditional. What we wound up with was we were attracted to the hexagon, to the geometry of the hexagon, and we decided that after we constructed a circle of hexagons, as you can see here, we then went through discussions and compromises and iterations of all sorts of other changes and features to it till we wound up with our final home page, which has a small model of the circle of hexagons on the upper right. And when you click on it, you'll see that it starts to rotate, disappears, and then reappears in the middle, becoming enlarged and then bouncing once and landing on this home page. And as you can see, the hexagons are transparent, except for when you hover over them, they become opaque and a little bit brighter to send you onto the page that you're navigating to. And in case you missed all that animation, you'll be able to see it later in our presentation several times as we continue on with our presentation. We used CSS, HTML, and JavaScript to construct this highly unique landing page. And I'll turn it over to John, who will talk about the horizontal nav bar, as well as the registration and login pages.
Good afternoon, my name's John. As the user clicks on the register button, they'll be taken to the register screen. We'll enter that information. That will be saved in the database. So obviously it's just a one-time only. As the information is being entered and they hit register, they'll be returned back to the home page and then to the login screen. The login screen will be auto-filled. You just hit login to confirm it. That'll again take you to the home page and to the nav bar. The AB Sign logo is an action link that will return you back to the landing page, and then on hover you will also see that the other links, background colors, also coincide with the AB Sign logo and the accompanying pages as well. With that, I will turn it over to John and have him go over the flashcards in the library.
All right, I'm John, and one of the core functionalities of our application is the library. And the library is essentially just it's a collection of signs that we've preloaded. We just went with the alphabet, A through Z, for simplicity. And so as you scroll down, you can see that you can choose A through Z. They can click view a sign, and it'll show the sign and the accompanying image. Similarly, we have the flashcards index, and we'll get to that in a second, but one other thing here is they can add their own sign So basically it allows them to create their own custom libraries. So we're going to upload a test file here for the demonstration with the test image, and automatically redirects over to the flashcards index. And so as they scroll down, you can see it's like interactive. We use CSS to accomplish that. The thing that I think is really cool is that when we get to the bottom, you'll see the test image that they just uploaded. So again, it illustrates that they can add as many images as they want. And we're going to flip back over to the library, and it's the same way here. So they also have the option to delete if they want to. And another thing that's really cool is when they log off and return back to the library or flashcard page, that sign won't be there. So there's a filter in there, so you only see the signs that you uploaded. So that way you're not mucking up other people's libraries with your custom images. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Seamus, and he's going to explain the functionality of a quiz.
Again, my name is Seamus. We implemented a quiz to test your knowledge. You studied, you looked at the flashcards, and now it's time to take a quiz. So we implemented 3 different quizzes, and we did that using JavaScript and jQuery. When you're going through the quiz, as you notice, you mouse over your answer that you're selecting will highlight. If you get it right, you'll get a green correct sign. If you get it wrong, you'll see a wrong correct sign. All of the questions and answers load from right to left using jQuery. In future iterations, we'd like to include numbers, the signs for numbers, quizzes, and words. When you get done with your quiz, you'll see that out of the 10 questions, it'll show you your score, the number that you got right. This one got a 60%, so the user now has the option to save that to the database and into their progress. And to teach us about the progress is Courtney.
All right, so the Save Score button uses jQuery, Ajax, and C# to save your score into the database. Saved scores can be viewed on the progress page. The progress page will display only the scores for the currently logged in user. You must be logged in to save your score and to view your score. Quizzes are sorted by the date, with the most recent appearing at the top. And each bar's color corresponds with the score for that quiz. For example, here, a red bar indicates a score of 30% or below, and a green bar represents a score of 100%. Progress bars were styled using Bootstrap and CSS. The last feature we have here offers the ability to manage your account. This is where you can change your password and set up 2-factor authentication. In future iterations, users will have the ability to add and edit other account information, such as first and last name. So on behalf of our team today and all of We Can Code It, we'd like to thank you for viewing our presentations. And with that, we'd like to open the room to questions.
Very good.